Honorable Chairman, I would like to categorically state that I will fully cooperate with the committee and assist in establishing the truth and nothing but the truth, that the charges leveled against me as the governor of Wajir are unsustainable, are unsubstantiated, and cannot stand the scrutiny and threshold required for the impeachment of a governor. Honorable Chair, in the second generation of county government, Wajir County under my leadership has made tremendous progress in basic social and economic services with improvements in key performance indicators, as can be witnessed from the county statistics. Moreover, my government has been in the forefront in establishing a working relationship with the County Assembly of Wajir. A good example of that, Mr. Chairman, is that we have allocated 25 million Kenya shillings to each of the 30 wards in Wajir County since 2017. In other words, annually we are spending 750 million shillings to all the sub-counties for small projects that are for all the 30 wards. Further, the county government under my leadership has proactively initiated equity projects by development projects in all these 30 wards. My defense submission will speak to this later during the proceedings. Mr. Chairman, I have a rich record as a career public servant for 45 years, long before some of these county assembly members were born, both within and outside the country. Some of my deployments include serving as a teacher, education officer, member of parliament, assistant minister, cabinet minister, ambassador, and now as the governor of Wajir County. Mr. Chairman, as you sit and adjudicate over this matter, it is my humble plea that the committee will have time to consider, to look at the unique circumstances the Somali community, where I come from, finds itself in its decision-making and formation of governance, that is formation of the government at the county level, the structures in all the counties in this region through negotiated democracy. I believe the allegations contained in the impeachment by Wajir County Assembly is politically motivated with malice and witch hunt. Finally, Mr. Chairman, my lawyers and witnesses will establish evidence, the circumstances that informed and influenced the impeachment. I have full confidence in the committee and its findings. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Okay, thank you, Governor. You may resume your seat. Council, I hope you get guidance from the timekeeper as to how many minutes you have. Okay, proceed.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, the Governor has spoken extensively about the issues arising from Wajir County and the issues that he believes are important in respect of this impeachment motion or these impeachment proceedings that he now faces before this committee. Mine really is just to emphasize a few issues about the state of the law that governs the process of impeachment. And I believe it is important for me to make these brief comments about the law because, as I am sure you require no reminding, impeachment is a political process enabled by the Constitution. It is politics enabled by the Constitution. And the provisions for impeachment in respect of governors are straightforward, and they are to be found in Article 181 of the Constitution of this Republic. The grounds for impeachment are found in particular in Articles 181, 1A to D. And I'm sure when the committee retires to consider your decision in this matter, you will be guided by those provisions of the Constitution. But in respect of the motion of impeachment that is before this committee, the grounds for impeachment are to be found at Article 181, 1A and 1D. And they are really very simple and straightforward. The governor is accused of gross violation of the Constitution, and he is accused of abuse of office or gross misconduct. Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, I submit or I state that the word gross will be of cardinal importance when you retire to consider your decision in these impeachment proceedings. And I say so because it is the responsibility of this committee to determine whether the evidence that will be led on behalf of the County Assembly of Wajir, if indeed it does disclose any misconduct, or if indeed it does disclose any violation of the Constitution or the law, whether that violation, and I don't say there is any, whether that violation is gross. The second issue that I wish to request this committee to bear in mind as you retire to consider your decision in this matter is the context of the evidence. The context in which the evidence arises. Are these ordinary transactions, are these ordinary relationships between the county executive and the county assembly? Or do they disclose any misdeeds or any gross violations, of the Constitution or of the law, or any gross misconduct by the governor of Wajir County? And I'm sure if you apply your minds properly to the provisions of the Constitution, especially the ordinary English meaning of the word gross, and thankfully there is guidance from the courts of this republic as to what amounts to gross in terms of evidence, you will come to the right conclusion. Thank you very much, and I will donate the rest of the time to my learned colleague, Mr. Ndegwa Njiru, to conclude our opening remarks.
How many minutes does he have? So Ndegwa, you have 7 minutes, Council. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, you are being invited this morning to find the governor of Wajir County culpable for issues of gross misconduct, violation of the Constitution and in the law. Mr. Chairman, you will be invited to look at the question of the threshold and the issue of the nexus between the issues being complained thereof and the conduct of the governor and the functions of the governor. It's not lost of us, Mr. Chairman, that Section 30 of the County Government Act clearly indicates the functions of the governor who is before you. Mr. Chairman, we'll be inviting you to juxtapose the provisions of Section 30 as against the issues being complained hereof. Mr. Chairman, this House has enacted a litany of laws, among them the Public Procurement and Disposal Act, which, Mr. Chairman, forms the basis of the complaint as against the governor. We'll be inviting this House at the fullness of time, Mr. Chairman, to look at various sections, and most importantly, Section 55 and Section 45 of the Public Procurement and Disposal Act, and scrutinize the issues complained hereof. It will surprise you, Mr. Chairman, that the County Assembly of Wajir is inviting you to fight the governor culpable for mere theatric issues. Theatric issues in the sense that the allegations do not meet the threshold as established in the case of Governor Wambora, Civil Appeal 194 of 2014. Mr. Chairman, we had the opportunity of arguing that case with my learned senior counsel, Mr. Mohamed Nasir, and it's very clear that the threshold was established in that case. And the ratio decidedi of that case, Mr. Chairman, was that it is not every allegation, every breach that can culminate to finding of the culpability of the governor. Again, Mr. Chairman, this matter was argued by my senior learned friend, Mohamed Nasir, before the Court of Appeal in Nyeri. That is a civil case number 21, again of 2014, the case of Governor Wambora. There was a question of nexus. How do you connect the allegations facing the governor with the functions of the governor? We shall tender evidence at the fullness of time to show you that there is no nexus that can lead to the impeachment of a governor. Mr. Chairman, though Article 10 calls for the accountability and transparency as one of the overriding doctrines in matters of governance of this country, the question is, can an individual purport to each hand in the name of calling for accountability? Governability form the basis of impeachment of a governor who is democratically elected. Mr. Chairman, were the people of Wajir County involved through the public processes, public participation, as enshrined under Article 96, Clause 2D? Were they involved? Did they participate? Do we have evidence of their participation before you? Can a mere person, driven by ulterior, scandalous, vexatious approach, could have the governor convicted? Mr. Chairman, the governor is accused of allowing unqualified professionals to handle the functions of procurement. Is the governor the head of the public procurement? Does he participate in the process of the employment? Is it true that the county assembly is not able to distinguish the functions? Are they lost in the mud? Mr. Chairman, we'll be inviting you at the fullness of time and the members of this honorable committee to consider the question of the function of the governor and the culpability. Mr. Chairman, this is not one of the impeachments that should have seen the light of the day. It's a petition, or rather it's a motion of impeachment that is scandalous, impeachment that is frivolous, impeachment that is meant to cause annoyance and embarrassment on the part of the governor. Why is the county assembly so much passionate by the failure of the governor to take the stand? Do they want to have a continuation of the matter before the Supreme Court? We are in a different arena. Mr. Chairman, abuse of office, gross misconduct. You have been told that there was one overall leader, the person of the First Lady of the county as a government of Wajir. Is there any evidence to show that she ever participated in decision making? Is the person alleging this aware that we have now moved from the roadside declarations to a situation whereby government policies and decisions must be in writing? Have they provided any writing to show that the First Lady made any decision on behalf of the county government? We shall be able to provide evidence, embarrassingly so, to the contrary. Mr. Chairman, we urge you to grant us an opportunity to show you that the governor has not in any event usurped the powers of the Public Service Board to an extent to protect the integrity of the county government, that the governor stood evidence as against these individuals in criminal case number 47 on 2018 before the Milimani Magistrate Court. The governor appeared as a witness. Why did the governor appear as a witness in that case as against officers? Because the governor believes in the doctrine of good governance. The governor believes in accountability and transparency.
Your time is up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We invite you to grant us time. We have about 6 witnesses who shall persuade you to hold to the contrary. Much obliged.
Thank you. Very well. I think that brings to an end the avalanche so that we can make our ruling on the request by the County Assembly that we summon 4 witnesses. We will also consider the other preliminary issues that have been raised, including the admissibility of the letter by Ahmed Nasir Abdullah and Company Advocates dated 11th of May 2021. We will also look at the issue of the competence of the motion that is before us.